Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Steam Train. I hope you guys are all doing well and having a wonderful Friday so far. Before we start, I do have an announcement, but I am Mr. Dorian with New Minds, and we are changing schedules. All of our videos are still going to be posted up on New Minds TV, so all of our old ones and new ones will all be there. But also, as another change we're making, is we're moving all of our kids' content to YouTube. So on Tuesday and Thursday, we're going to upload our kids' content. It's going to be awesome, and it's going to be safe for your kids to enjoy and watch. So you'll know what they're watching, you know they're learning something, or having a fun, family-friendly time. That is my announcement. All of our parent content will stay hosted on Facebook on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you like that there, don't be worried, it's still going to be there. But now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with our Friday Brain Game. So our supplies today are actually really simple. You don't even need the cool sunglasses I came in with. You're just going to need a scrap piece of cardboard, one that at least has a bigger square section on it, some scissors, and something to write with. Now what we're going to be building is an old puzzle called a Tower of Hanoi. It's a pretty cool puzzle and you might have seen it before. I'm going to show you how to make it first, and then I'll tell you the rules of it, and you'll be able to make more pieces or less pieces depending on your skill level. But the first thing is I want you to find the smallest part. I happen to have this little offshoot, and draw a circle. Now every piece is going to get bigger than this one, so this should be the smallest piece. Don't make it microscopic. Think about quarter size, and cut it out. So you have a disc. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So I have a small cardboard disc. You can make this out of paper. I'm just making it out of cardboard so it's a little sturdier and it's going to look a little nicer, but paper will work just fine. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to set this on the cardboard. You're not quite going to trace it, but you're going to make a circle that's just slightly bigger. Big enough that you can easily tell it is bigger, but you don't need to make it huge. So I'm using my circle to kind of make it the same shape. And I kind of have, let me hold it up so you can see it, a circle that's slightly larger. It should be big enough, once again, at a glance you can tell it's bigger, but it doesn't look huge because we're going to keep making bigger circles. We're going to make 5 of these total. So right now I have disc 1, cutting out disc 2, we're going to make 5. So now I have 2 discs. I'm going to stack them up. Just like last time, I'm going to take my second disc, trace one that's bigger, and make a 3rd disc. Remember, we are going to make 5 of these. The circle should be big enough that at a glance, you can tell that it is definitely bigger. But it shouldn't be huge. I'm going to cut this one out. You can make them square if it's easier for you. It's just traditionally the puzzle is circle, so I'm going to keep to that a little bit. If you have an actual Tower of Hanoi puzzle, they are stacked rings or discs with holes in the middle that go on poles. But that's going to be a little complicated to make by hand, so we're going to make a little bit of an easier version for you guys. So now I have 3 discs. You can easily tell which ones are bigger, which ones are smaller. Kind of looks like a pyramid. I still need to make 2 more. Here I go. That disc is a little bit big, but I'll roll with it. Does not have to be perfect. So here's my 4th disc. We're almost there. I just need to make 1 more disc, and then we have to make 1 extra piece. Here we go. We have disc 4. So we have 4 distinct discs, and now I need to make the last biggest disc. And if you want to be more exact and use measurement, I'm making each disc about 1 centimeter bigger than the last one. And there we go. I have my 5 discs. And they're in this little happy pyramid tower. Now the last thing we need is we need a piece of cardboard that is just as wide, but at least 3 times as long as our biggest disc. Let's see, I have some other scrap cardboard. I saved up my supplies from before so I can reuse them. I have this piece from when we made this awesome thing on the cardboard challenge. If you haven't seen that, make sure you go back and check that out. But I'm going to use this long piece. I'm just going to make it 3 times as long. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I'm going to use this, mark 1 line, 2nd line, 3rd line, and then I'm going to cut it out. Just so I have a nice big rectangle. This is going to be almost like our game board for our puzzle we're making. Because remember, this is Friday, and we do brain games on Friday. We're almost done. There is 1 step left. I'm going to take my circle. I'm going to trace 3 of them on this big piece. And then I'm ready to start. There's 1 traced. There's 2 traced. And here is 3 traced. Now I have something that almost looks like a stoplight. But this is our whole puzzle. And how this puzzle works is there are 2 rules. Rule 1, you can only pick up 1 circle at a time. Rule 2, smaller disc have to always be above bigger disc. You can never put a bigger disc on a smaller disc. And that is the whole game. And your challenge is to switch all of these discs from spot 1 to spot 3. You can put anything in an empty disc, you can do anything else you'd like, but you can only pick up 1 disc at a time, and it always has to be a bigger one under a smaller one. Now the first challenge to try is see if you can do it with 2 discs. Because doing it with 1, the smallest disc, is just 1 move. Doing it with 2 discs, it's 2 moves. Actually 3. The small disc goes in the middle, the bigger disc goes on the edge, and the smaller disc goes back in the middle. But as you try and add more discs, it's going to add more and more moves. Now we made 5 discs. This is a really challenging one, but it's still very doable. You can actually go all the way up to 8 discs, but the solution to the 8 disc version of the puzzle is 255 moves long. So I feel like that's a little longer than you guys are going to want to do in one puzzle. So I'm going to show you how to get through the first couple, and then try it out and see how many moves you can do it in. So now I have 3 discs. I'm going to try moving the smaller disc all the way across. I'm going to put the medium disc in the middle. I'm going to put the smaller disc on top of the medium disc. Move the biggest disc across. Small disc over. Big disc on top. And small disc on top. So now I have my 3 discs stacked in the correct order. Back over here. And I never put a big one on top of a small one. And this is actually the whole puzzle. It is called the Tower of Hanoi if you do need to look up a solution to this or try it out or see videos of it. But it is a super fun puzzle and you can make it really simply with just some cardboard and scissors. Now I have the 3 disc. I'm going to try and do the 4 disc. Remember, you can't do something like put the small disc and then put a bigger disc on top of that. That is an illegal move. So you're going to have to get creative with how you move things. I'm going to put the small disc all the way across. I'm going to put the medium disc in the middle. Then I'm going to put the small disc on this disc. Put the big disc over here. Small, medium, small, big. Okay, we're getting there. Small, medium. Put that there. We're getting closer. Small, medium, small, big disc. I have the big disc across, and I just got to get the other ones. Smallest, medium. Oh, not quite. Smallest over here. Medium on top. Smallest, medium, smallest. Okay, there we go. And I finally got this disc across. Now, a challenge you can do, you can compete with your siblings, your family, the people who take care of you. What you can do is you can challenge them and say, how many moves can you get it in? The smaller number, the better. It's like golf. So keep track of how many moves it takes you. So every time you take a base up and move it to a new circle, that is one move. See how little moves you can do it in. And the extra challenge is see if you can do 5 discs, 6 discs, or 7 discs. It gets really hard the higher number you get, and it's going to take a lot more moves, but it is possible all the way up to 8 discs. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have enjoyed another real inspired learning with New Minds. Don't forget to check out New Minds TV for all of these amazing projects, all of our Friday brain games, and everything along those lines. And don't forget to follow us to YouTube on our new schedule. It's just New Minds on YouTube. Thank you guys all very much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your Friday.